in Atlantic City, New Jersey, when he came from behind to knock out Diabelos Furtado in 11 rounds. Here we go into round one. Whitaker has a very strange low crouch that he will often use, and it'll be interesting to see how De La Hoya tries to attack that here tonight. Whitaker will attempt to frustrate De La Hoya, give him different moves, throw punches at him from bizarre angles, and utilize the ring. He is not, as he has often been characterized, a runner. People are misled in that regard. De La Hoya, or Whitaker, will outbox you, but he doesn't run from you. Now Pernell getting that jab to work. Nice jab by Whitaker. The early moments, at least, controlled by the champion. He will attempt to jab, come in on De La Hoya, and then move to the side. Turn him around.
De La Hoya in a style that's become familiar for him in his last few fights, trying to keep his opponent at a distance by holding that left hand out.
Whitaker's jab surprisingly effective here in round one. De La Hoya wild with his return flurry. Whitaker right in front of De La Hoya, but that's his history. He's right in front of you, but he's hard to hit. Until the last couple of years, Pernell Whitaker rarely lost a round in his career. De La Hoya missing with the uppercut, and De La Hoya has been wild and appears a little bit tight here in the early going.
Now there's a hit on the break by Whitaker.
And a one in return from De La Hoya. Mills Lane warns the fighters. De La Hoya, at least so far, does not look relaxed to me. Now he gets the jab to work, which he may need to do to get himself into tempo here. Combination by De La Hoya, and now the action begins.
Hit him with a straight right that time.
Terrific left hook to the body by Pernell Whitaker. Whitaker got all of his punching power into that left hook, and De La Hoya took a backward step after that body shot by Whitaker. Boy, Whitaker's jab has looked terrific so far here in round one.
It's off the jab that he sets everything up, Rich.
And there you see a little bit.
If he gets it going early.
A little bit of the trickiness of Pernell Whitaker, as you see, as he marched back a few steps. De La Hoya having trouble connecting here in round one. And a first round largely controlled by Pernell Whitaker. We go into round two. I thought De La Hoya looked very tight in that first round.
Certainly did.
He needs to relax. Whitaker was just Whitaker in round number one. He won it on my card. De La Hoya wants to punch in combinations when Whitaker gets close.
Once again, Whitaker right in front of him, but De La Hoya can't hit him.
There's the jab by De La Hoya, which was so effective against Miguel Angel Gonzalez. It was shocking in that first round to see him out-jabbed by Whitaker. Those jabs against southpaws don't often work as successfully as they do against orthodox fighters. Oh, man, that jab of Whitaker is finding a home in De La Hoya's face.
That's a jackhammer.
There weren't many people who thought that Whitaker could defeat Julio Cesar Chavez, and while it was called a draw, basically he did defeat him that night. Look at Whitaker. That even draws a smile from De La Hoya. What a unique style Pernell Whitaker has.
And it's frustrating, too.
And you know, one of the problems about that is, Rick, is you can't find really sparring partners who can mimic Whitaker effectively when you're trying to train for him.
That's absolutely correct. Whitaker a one of a kind. And as he said, De La Hoya has not seen his likes ever.
Remember, Pernell Whitaker in his career has been involved in 21 title fights and 14 of them against #1 contenders. So he is accustomed to being in situations that are difficult, and even on a couple of occasions where he was not expected to win. De La Hoya trying to cut the distance down. Whitaker done an effective job, and they're flailing away with the left hand as Pernell Whitaker. De La Hoya trying to get his right hand home to the body, trying to attack with straight right hands, and coming a little bit faster here at Whitaker.
Well, De La Hoya comes into this fight saying that he has 5 or 6 different game plans, if you will. He may need them all before it's over with.
Those punches largely ineffective. Crowd roared. There's a right hand on the top of the head by De La Hoya. But De La Hoya beginning now, it seems like, to get a little more relaxed, and was closing those last 30 seconds, the distance for Pernell Whitaker. There you're looking at Oscar De La Hoya, who turned pro in November of '92 and won his first title in March of '94. De La Hoya in the red trunks, Pernell Whitaker in the purple. I'm sure they're both familiar enough that they really don't need any identifying to you around the world. I thought De La Hoya came back enough in that last minute to win the second round.
I did too, Rich.
And I thought he began to loosen up a little bit there at the end of the first and the end of the round. So I have the fight even through the first 2 rounds.
And it appeared that De La Hoya was able to close the distance between them. Pernell Whitaker with a couple of good punches in that exchange.
Of course, Pernell's so tricky inside that even if you close the distance, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get to him. De La Hoya trying to pick up, I think, the pressure level here that he's applying to Whitaker. Whitaker was taking the play away from him in the first round and a half with a good jab. De La Hoya attacking with a straight right.
De La Hoya with some good defensive movement to escape those punches.
All those punches missing. I say De La Hoya's accuracy level so far through the first 2.5 rounds until that punch has been lower than at any time in his career. Now Whitaker spins him around, but De La Hoya had landed his hardest punch of the fight just before that.
Oscar had said all along that if Whitaker was going to get cute in the ring, he'd get cute right back, and you can see him showing no respect to Sweet Pea.
Whitaker, eyes open wide. They look like doorknobs. Gives him a little hip shake.
Good short right hand by De La Hoya in that exchange.
And now, did you see him scrape his glove across De La Hoya's face? And Mills Lane right there, he saw it. We're inside the final minute now of round 3. Good left hook to the body by Whitaker and a clash of heads. And now De La Hoya's on the receiving end of another shot by Whitaker. He comes forward.
That's a
De La Hoya goes down to the canvas. Let's see what Mills Lane calls it here.
I think he's cut under his right eye, Rich.
No knockdown. De La Hoya is cut. De La Hoya is cut under the eye. And Mills Lane is calling a headbutt right now. He's calling a headbutt, so that means that the accidental foul rule comes into effect. And remember, under WBC rules, you have to complete 4 rounds. The cut, however, is underneath the eye. It is not in a dangerous spot. But there's going to be some concern about De La Hoya in that corner. It looks as though neither guy is afraid of the other. Good left uppercut by De La Hoya. That one rocked Whitaker back. Another left hook by De La Hoya, and Whitaker felt that. Whitaker seemed to have the round sewn up until De La Hoya landed those 2 big shots near the end of the round. Round 4 of an increasingly tension-filled and exciting fight. Those who felt it might be such a chess match that there were few punches thrown have definitely been proven wrong so far.
There seems to be a little bit of a mouse over the right eye of Whitaker at this point, Rich. I don't know if you could tell.
All right, that could have also been caused by the headbutt. Remember now, the cut is under the eye of De La Hoya. I thought that Whitaker was on his way to winning that last round, but De La Hoya landed some tremendous shots in the last 30 seconds of that round and may have stolen it on the judges' cards. That one big left uppercut was a beauty. Now De La Hoya beginning to get into a rhythm, it appears like, and is loosening up some. There's the right. De La Hoya can fight going backwards as you see him getting backed up. Good right hand inside by De La Hoya to the head of Whitaker. Mills Lane lets them fight inside while they had arms free. It is really impossible off of what we've seen through the first 3 rounds plus to pick a winner right of this fight right now.
It's amazing, Rich, how well Whitaker thrives on his awkwardness and his ability to escape punches. Whereas in his last fight, De La Hoya was enjoying a 64% effectiveness rate with his jab. I think it's hardly that here tonight.
Oh, no, it has been nowhere near as effective. But then again, he's jabbing against the southpaw, and jabbing against the southpaw is not usually as effective as it is against an orthodox fighter. It's a whole different story. That hand, that glove is right out in front of you to block that jab. But if De La Hoya can start to get the jab home, then it could spell doom for Whitaker. The action slows a bit here in round 4. Whitaker has really yet to throw a significant punch in this round. De La Hoya missing all those punches. Little fancy footwork from Pernell.
And De La Hoya with some defensive maneuvering.
De La Hoya may win this round on pure aggressiveness, even though it hasn't been effective aggressiveness, because Whitaker has hardly landed a punch of his own in this round. There's a good body punch by De La Hoya. We've seen precious little of that from Oscar so far. And the bruising around the right eye of Whitaker is becoming more prominent. Whitaker clowns, but probably lost the round.
Strong near the end to Pernell, and that's what he wants to do.
We have now been told as we begin round 5 that Whitaker had a point deducted from him for that headbutt in round 3, so keep that in mind in your scoring. De La Hoya fast, but again missing most of those punches. He may want to work to the body a little bit more. Oh, a great right hand from Whitaker. A terrific combination by Whitaker, which was climaxed by the right hand. A beauty. And De La Hoya, who had it so easy in victories against Paez and no knockdown, and Ruelas and Chavez to win the 3 titles before, is in a fight here tonight.
It is still early enough in the fight, Rich, to think that Whitaker would still have his legs under him. But as the fight progresses, that's going to be something to watch.
Another beautiful right hand from Pernell Whitaker. Sweet Pea a little more economical in his punching than is De La Hoya, but in this round at least he's been the more accurate of the 2. De La Hoya thought by everyone to be the complete package. Quickness, tremendous punch, technique, much improved defense since adding Jesus Rivero as his trainer. Has a great jab, but it has not been a factor here tonight, so he needs something else to come to the fore for him.
Whitaker sticking that jab out there, landing frequently too.
Another beautiful right-left cross by Whitaker, and he gets out of there after landing the punch. Whitaker enjoying a nice round so far. Now Whitaker getting cued again. Inside the final minute of round 5. De La Hoya paying no notice to the cuteness, although there he's wild. And Whitaker is hot dogging it pretty good here in round 5.
Well, he's not going to get any points from the hot dogging.
No, he's not, but he's making De La Hoya is certainly not able to make him pay for it.
There's a good straight right from De La Hoya. Whitaker back with a right of his own.
Oscar turns left-handed now. Let's see what this brings, if anything.
Well, he's a natural left-hander, Rich, so it appears that he's comfortable switching over.
No, it's not anything we've seen before from De La Hoya, so it's an unusual bit of strategy. Now the two trying to psych each other out. That punch taken on the shoulder. Whitaker misses as the round comes to an end.
Switch over to southpaw. Bend at the waist to give yourself the opportunity to throw the right.
Well, he is opening up in southpaw fashion. So remember we said, and Oscar has said all along, he had 4 or 5 game plans for this fight. He's gone to plan B, which is to go to a southpaw attack.
Big punch from De La Hoya.
But he just missed the follow-up left hook as Whitaker got out of there. Whitaker needs to get his jab back going the way that it was early in the fight. I have yet to see any advantage for De La Hoya in turning to southpaw so far in this fight. This is the left hook there. Now back to an orthodox stance. I'm not a great believer of doing that. I saw Marvin Hagler blow the first 4 rounds of his fight against Sugar Ray Leonard playing around with a southpaw style, and it ended up costing him the decision. Pernell Whitaker's eye looks to me like it could become a problem before the end of this fight. Swelling is there.
De La Hoya switches back over again. Good combination inside.
At least so far, this has certainly not looked like a 3-to-1 fight.
Certainly hasn't.
And that's the odds that De La Hoya was favored by. Whitaker wild and then runs into a left hook from De La Hoya, partially taken on his glove. Whitaker's most spectacular knockouts were scored at the lower weights now, since coming up to the higher weight at 140. Of course, he did stop Chavez in 4 rounds, but without a knockdown, and Gonzalez did go the distance with him. So far, no knockdowns in this fight. A lot of shoulder movement from Whitaker as he leads with his left hand. De La Hoya trying to counter off that jab now. Nice punch by Whitaker. Oh, that's a clever bit of work by Whitaker. Mills Lane didn't like it because what he did was he turned De La Hoya, got behind him, and then was hitting him from the side.
Turned him completely around.
Good shot by Whitaker. As they come out for round 7 in a fight that is flying by. De La Hoya seemed to have a little bit of bruising himself now, or at least a small abrasion underneath his left eye. And of course, Whitaker's eye a little bit lumpy along just above the eye. No knockdowns in the fight so far. They really seem to be trying to get Pernell, who might just be really hyped up in the corner, to relax. But he told his trainers in the corner, I'm going to win it. This is round 7. We're at the Thomas & Mack Center, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. I'm Rich Morano along with Rick Lozano ringside. It's Pernell Whitaker and Oscar De La Hoya in what appears to be a close fight.
Rich, it appears that Whitaker is every bit the fighter that Oscar wanted to be up against tonight. He's there in front of him. He comes into Oscar, but so far De La Hoya has not been able to take advantage of any of it.
Whitaker trying to pick him apart with that jab. Oh, look at that. A violent collision of heads, and then Whitaker threw him down. Another headbutt there. Mills Lane isn't going to make a big deal about it. He just told him, watch your heads. So we've had some roughhouse stuff here, too, as Whitaker gets away from those shots. This crowd is into this.
Beautiful jab from Whitaker a second ago, sliding to his right and landing the jab. Good right hand by De La Hoya there.
Oscar trying to put some power now on Whitaker as he unloads that combination. And Whitaker did not get away from all of them that time. Whitaker walked right into a shot from De La Hoya. Another right hand by De La Hoya. It's often said what a great weapon the straight right is against a southpaw. And De La Hoya trying to use it, but against Pernell, many of the normal things simply don't apply. De La Hoya now showing some blood from the right nostril.
Well, Whitaker certainly is, if not in the best condition of his life, certainly right up there amongst it.
Now, it's a good thing for De La Hoya he prepared for a vintage Whitaker, because this is not the same Pernell Whitaker we saw in the ring against Diabolis Hurtado. De La Hoya, you might be able to see the blood now coming out of the nostril. Look at Whitaker. Whitaker getting ready for De La Hoya to throw the straight right. There's the end of the round. And De La Hoya.
Jesus Rivero asking Oscar De La Hoya in his corner, tell me the truth, are you tired? To which Oscar responded, no. Rivero says, then good, let's get to work.
All right, the two eyeing each other warily here at the start of the round. We are in round 8. Scheduled for 12, WBC welterweight title on the line, and of course, with these two fighters, believe is the more prestigious title, and that is the pound for pound moniker that seems to go along with this fight. Whitaker, though, clearly motivated for this one, and all of those excuses of the past fights in recent years when he hasn't looked that good simply don't apply here tonight. That's for sure.
You can tell Whitaker really trained hard for this fight, Rich. He looks to be in splendid condition.
Well, he had an impeccable training camp, high-quality sparring partners. He has not used his legs unnecessarily here tonight, so he looks in tremendous condition. De La Hoya trying to counter the punches here of Whitaker. Look at this, crouching, both of them, the two of them looking, eyeing each other, looking for an opening. Here's a chess match here. De La Hoya unable to attack Whitaker. He looks slow and a little bit wild with those punches. De La Hoya has slowed down the attack in this round. Good jab by Whitaker. Neither guy really has built up a big edge in any round. Now De La Hoya answers back at Whitaker after Whitaker seemed disappointed with himself that he had missed with a jab.
And De La Hoya comes back with a mild right hand, but it landed.
The quietest round of the fight, but a little left hand by De La Hoya, and Whitaker laughs it off.
De La Hoya smiling right back at him, Rich.
Flurry of punches from De La Hoya, 20 seconds to go. Whitaker trying to get that jab to work. Whitaker's going to need to throw more himself. He needs to throw in combinations.
Well, if they weren't fighting, you'd think they were enjoying each other's company out there.
I think they're each enjoying trying to outfox the other guy. Now Whitaker with a flurry at the end of the round. All right, here we go into round 9. Scheduled for 12. Whitaker defending the welterweight championship. Gets hit right off the bat here in the 9th round. They were very clear with Whitaker in his corner, telling him he's losing the fight. They seemed to needed to encourage him that he was going to be able to come back and win it.
Well, up until the Hurtado fight, he had never scored a knockout past the 6th round. Maybe that's the motivation behind telling him in his corner that he's behind.
Well, I feel he's behind, and they may have just been trying to let him know really what the situation is as far as they see it. De La Hoya landing, then spinning Whitaker around.
And landing a good body shot in that exchange too, Rich.
Good body punch by Whitaker and another one to the head. De La Hoya trying to answer. It's remarkable how easy De La Hoya had it at times in championship fights with Ruelas and Jesse James Leija, even with Chavez, but how the last 2 fights have been real battles for him, with Miguel Angel Gonzalez and tonight here with Pernell Whitaker. Whitaker chasing De La Hoya back with a jab, and then hurting De La Hoya a little bit with a left hook to the head.
And another clash of heads there against the ropes.
Whitaker having a good round here as we move to 1 minute remaining in round 9. De La Hoya goes down. Is it a knockdown?
Oh, it's a knockdown.
It is a knockdown. They are counting it off. There was a punch and De La Hoya went down to 1 knee, and that could be very big in the scoring.
It was an uppercut, Rich. It caught him, and it buckled his legs.
I felt Whitaker was winning the round anyway, and now you're looking at a 10-8 advantage probably for Pernell. That could be very huge. Another left hook, and that's a big shot for Whitaker. And De La Hoya has had an extremely sluggish round here in the 9th. And De La Hoya,
he looks fatigued.
He looks befuddled right now. He is not getting to Whitaker. Now he chases him across the ring, but Whitaker avoided all those punches. Now Whitaker again scrapes De La Hoya with his glove. It is not a knockdown in the true sense of the word, but in Mills' Lane mind, what the deal is this. There was a punch landed. It was landed even though it didn't look that hard, and it went to the side of the head, and De La Hoya went to a knee, so he called it a knockdown. Now we are in round 10. The judges tonight are all from the state of Nevada: Chuck Giampa, Jerry Roth, and Dalby Shirley. And they suddenly become very important. I thought De La Hoya had a very poor round in round 9, and now it remains to be seen if he can answer. Let me remind you, fans, that against Miguel Angel Gonzalez, he lost rounds 9 and 10 to Gonzalez on all 3 cards, and that was his rough moments, but he came back with a very strong 11th and 12th round. So once he caught his 2nd win, can he catch it here?
And once again, between rounds, they asked him, are you tired? So perhaps Jesus Rivero sees something in Oscar that hasn't been evident in his fights of the past. Maybe Oscar is beginning to tire.
Nice right hand by De La Hoya. We have in all likelihood a very close fight evolving here. De La Hoya not getting off. Whitaker getting that jab to work. Remember how many times Pernell Whitaker has gone 12 rounds. This is not going to be unfamiliar territory to him as it moves into the championship rounds. De La Hoya is going to have to get some offense going here in the 10th round. Good right hand by De La Hoya, top of the head of Whitaker. He ducked just low enough to make it a less effective punch. Whitaker chases after De La Hoya.
Whitaker seems to want to invite the exchanges. Good counter left there by De La Hoya.
Came in a flurry of punches by Oscar, who does have the ability to fight going backwards. You saw him do it against Rafael Ruelas, as Ruelas was coming in at him at a high tempo through the entire fight for 2 rounds, and then De La Hoya just conked him one, and that was it. Pernell, Whitaker getting away from those shots. Now De La Hoya tries to put it on him. The power. The bell brings the 10th round to an end. Thrilling and warming to the action, but they were ready before this fight ever got started.
And it's lived up to the billing too, Rich.
Round 11. Oscar De La Hoya, who has nowhere near the experience in terms of fighting rounds 11 and 12 that Pernell Whitaker had. Whitaker's eye about halfway open, but it did not close as bad as I thought it might. It was about this state a few rounds ago. It has not worsened.
Nor the cut under Oscar De La Hoya's right eye.
There has been one knockdown. Keep that in mind. It came in round 9. De La Hoya on the deck. Whitaker stumbled backwards, but I think he was more off balance than the power of De La Hoya's punches. De La Hoya trips a little and goes down, and he looks a little bit weary. Good left cross by Whitaker. And now Whitaker bangs to the body of De La Hoya. Oh, look at that shoulder work by Oscar. He was jumping up and down with his shoulder. Whitaker was expecting Mills Lane to warn De La Hoya, and it didn't happen. And so he wasn't ready for that onslaught halfway through the 11th round.
Big jab by Whitaker pushes De La Hoya back into the ropes, and surprisingly, Rich, I don't know how you feel, but it looks to me as though Whitaker could be in better condition for this fight than De La Hoya.
Good jab from Whitaker. Well, they're very excited in Whitaker's corner. I'm surprised by the fact that De La Hoya has never really hurt Whitaker in this fight. That one left uppercut earlier in the fight might have been the closest thing to it. Whitaker winding up and throwing the left hand. De La Hoya throwing in combinations as the two mix it up.
Whitaker punching and holding.
Half minute to go in the 11th round. De La Hoya flurrying late again, trying to steal the round on the judges' cards. 1 round to go. Pernell Whitaker has been in this situation of fighting a 12th round on many, many occasions. De La Hoya has had notable 12th rounds with John Molina and Miguel Angel Gonzalez. He dominated both of those. Who will dominate this final round?
Whitaker has been everything he said he would be for this fight, Rich. Very well conditioned. His legs are back.
And good jabbing work there by Whitaker. He turned De La Hoya around. Crowd is roaring, but De La Hoya really not landing with those punches. That last one to the body landed. But Whitaker making him miss. The odds on a draw, by the way, were 15-1. You can file that one away.
We'll know soon.
We may have a situation at the end of this fight where each fighter and each camp feels it has won.
Bit of blood dripping out of the left nostril of Oscar De La Hoya.
No real significant punches landed in this last round yet. We're barely past the halfway point, and the round is still up for grabs. Maybe the fight.
Could very well be.
Final minute of the fight. That one glanced off the side of the head of Whitaker, but De La Hoya at least was throwing punches and Whitaker was not. Neither man has mounted much of an offensive arsenal here in the final round, and probably each man waiting to try to close the show in style. I suspect in the final 30 seconds they'll both open up.
Some good body shots from De La Hoya in that exchange. Earlier, Whitaker thought De La Hoya had landed a low blow. Mills Lane not in a position to see it.
My prediction is the loser of this fight will claim he was robbed. Final seconds of the fight.
Whitaker clowning some more.
Crowd in a panic. There's the end of the fight. The guys look as though they enjoy it. They go and congratulate each other.
I think so. There's De La Hoya's dad, Joel De La Hoya Sr.
Well, I would give that last round to De La Hoya. I don't think that Whitaker landed anything significant. I thought in the last minute De La Hoya
simply on activity.
Landed some shots, landed some combinations, was chasing after Pernell. And now we await the decision. Well, that may be premature. On my card, I ended up with De La Hoya 114, Whitaker 112.
I'm still doing the math.
Remember, there was a point deducted from Whitaker. There's that headbutt early in the fight that opened the cut below the eye of Whitaker, or excuse me, De La Hoya. This is action that you saw as the fight evolved. This is when De La Hoya was turning to southpaw in round number 4.
I have it 114-113. De La Hoya.
Okay, so the ringside analyst gave it to De La Hoya, but very close.
This is as close as it gets.
Here's the knockdown, or the so-called knockdown. You saw a slight punch to the side of De La Hoya's head, and then he went to one knee, and Mills Lane recorded it as a knockdown. That could be huge in the scoring. If the judges score that round a 10-8 round, a 2-point round, now Whitaker feels that he has won. He's climbing up on the ring ropes, waving to the crowd. Here's Michael Buffer with the decision.
By way of Caesar's Palace, here is the Budweiser scorecards. Chuck Champa scores the bout 115-111. Jerry Roth has it 116-110, and Dalby Shirley scores it 116-110 for the winner by unanimous decision and new welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy,
Whitaker is actually laughing at the decision, but I'm sure he's crying a little inside.
He's got to be, Rich. He's got to be heartbroken. No matter what his face shows, on the inside you know he is deeply hurt.
I did not see it that one-sided. I had it at De La Hoya by 2 points at the finish, 114-112. A hug from Oscar's dad.